Hello children, how are you? So today I am going to complete this unit, measurement of national income. Hope all the concept will be clear to you. So I am going to end today this unit with this last topic, GDP and welfare, and one more small topic is left. This is GDP deflator, right? So first start with GDP and welfare. You have seen that increase in GDP, the people use today, the welfare, well-being of the quality of life of the people is improving. And always the ruling government used to try to convince the population of the nation that GDP growth is this, is increasing. That's why the government is doing very well. The welfare of the people is increasing. All the countries all over the world, they also here always trying to be in the top 5 economies of the world by accelerating the pace of economic growth, right? Because this is, they used to think, is the indicator of welfare, indicator of development. But there are so many limitations where the GDP cannot be considered failed to become the indicator index of welfare. We can't say the increase in GDP is increasing the welfare. Sometimes it may not possible. So today I am going to discuss what are the limitations. What are the limitations which here make that GDP fail to be the indicator of welfare. We can't think the increase in GDP is causing the increase in welfare. No, right? First point is distribution of GDP. Distribution of GDP is very much important in India. You can see the GDP is increasing, but still we are facing the problem of poverty. What is the reason? Because the distribution of output, GDP is not equal. So, if this is the increase in GDP, right, that is increase in GDP. So, generally the people will think that GDP is increasing, the welfare of the people is increasing. But if this GDP is distributed unequally, this is enjoyed by the less number of people, and this much GDP is enjoyed by the more number of people, right? So what will happen? Here the per person availability of goods and services will fall, because very less proportion of increase in GDP is enjoyed by the more number of people, right? So for the maximum number of people, the welfare will not increase, right? While less number, very few people are enjoying major proportion of GDP. So these are very less people, right? And they are rich. Already they are satisfied with their quality of life. So addition to income for these rich people is not increasing the consumption, because they reach up to a specific quality of life which they expect for their life, right? So in this situation, what will happen? Increase in GDP, once it is distributed unequally, will not increase the welfare of the people. Welfare of the people for the nation as a whole will not increase, because very more number of people are enjoying very less proportion, and the per person availability of goods and services among the maximum number of people will be less, right? So we cannot say that increase in GDP add to welfare. It also depends how it is distributed. More equal distribution, increase in welfare, but unequal distribution will not cause much addition to the welfare of people, right? Next one, here we can see the change in the price, right? Is suppose national income, GDP, or any aggregate of national income is calculated at current price, right? Nominal GDP. Yesterday I explained to you nominal GDP, which is calculated at current price prevailing in the economy, right? So if the current price will increase, the GDP is increasing because of only increase in the price level without any increase in output. So what will happen? The GDP size will increase because of increase in only current prices, right? Price level of the economy without any increase in physical output. So in this situation again, if the physical output will not increase, the per person consumption of goods and services of people will not increase, and they not enjoy the improvement in the quality of life. The welfare will not increase, right? So change in the price, that is also the factor to decide the welfare. If the price is increasing at a higher rate, right? So GDP will increase because of only increase in price level without any increase in physical output will not add to welfare, because the per person availability of goods and services will not increase, right? Next is here non-monetary exchange. So many transactions add to welfare, but because of non-availability of data, what happens? The values cannot be decided because these activities are not going through market. So price cannot be decided, they are not registered anywhere, but they add to welfare. Because data are not available for these activities, that's why they are not added in GDP. So it will not increase GDP, but it will increase the welfare. For example, the services activity done by the housewife. Think about your family. If on any day your mother will become ill, right? So just go through the disaster in the family, right? Every member of the family will come in problem, right? So this, it means the activity done by your mother is adding too much to the welfare of all the family members, right? While this activity done by your mother, housewife, is not added in the GDP. One side it is adding welfare, but another side it is not increasing the size of GDP. So the non-monetary exchange, kitchen gardening, leisure activity, if we do any activity in our leisure time, खाली समय में जो हम अपनी हॉबीज करते हैं, right? उससे हमें कितना अच्छा लगता है, कितना अच्छा फील करते हैं, हमारा वेलफेयर बढ़ता है. बट दिस लेजर टाइम एक्टिविटीज आर नॉट इंक्लूडेड इन GDP. So this is increasing welfare, non-monetary exchange, but not added in the GDP, right? Come to the externalities. Externalities is what? Refer to the benefit and harm of an activity, right? Caused by a firm or individual for which neither the firm and individual are paid nor they are penalized, right? Means किसी भी इंडिविजुअल की, किसी भी फर्म की एक एक्टिविटी से अगर दूसरे लोगों को बेनिफिट हो रहा है, ठीक है, बेनिफिट मतलब पॉजिटिव एक्सटर्नलिटीज, और उसके लिए जो दूसरे लोग हैं वो फर्म या इंडिविजुअल को कोई पेमेंट नहीं कर रहे हैं, राइट? सो दीज आर पॉजिटिव एक्सटर्नलिटीज. और कोई भी एक्टिविटी फर्म की या इंडिविजुअल की जिससे लोगों को नुकसान हो रहा है, हार्म हो रहा है, एडवर्स इम्पैक्ट पड़ रहा है, किस पर? उनकी वेलफेयर पर, बट उसके लिए दूसरे लोग फर्म या इंडिविजुअल पर कोई पेनल्टी नहीं डाल सकते. These are known as externalities. Again I am repeating, externalities refer to the benefits, right, and harms caused by an activity of any firm, individual, for which neither they are paid for positive externalities nor they are penalized for the harm of the caused by the activity. These are known as positive externalities and negative externalities. These externalities are never added in the GDP, right? But it give adverse impact, negative, positive impact in case of benefit to the welfare of the people. So here again the GDP failed to measure the welfare. One side, due to the externalities, welfare of the people is affected in both the direction, positive and negative, and the same is not added in the GDP, right? For example, is suppose park made by the government, right? People are doing exercise, walk, and are benefited, but for which nothing they are paying to government directly, right? Every people can go to the public park, but directly nothing they are paying to the government, although the park facility government provided by the taxes collected from us only, but directly it is not the same that if we will go inside the park and we will pay some fees. No, everybody can go at free of cost and can do the walk and exercise there and will be benefited because the health will be good. So this is the example of positive externalities. No direct payment to government, but we are benefited by the activity of government for making this public park, right? Next is here negative externalities. Negative externalities here, for example, pollution caused by the industries. The pollution which is caused by an industries here is giving the adverse impact on the health of people residing in that area, right? Adverse impact on the maintenance of our dresses, right? Our dresses will not be good in quality, right? Because again and again we have to wash, we have to make more expenditure on the for washing our clothes, right? So this is the example of negative externalities, right? So but externalities again is not added in the GDP, right? Because it is the impact of an activity. Activity is added in GDP, but impact of an activity is not added in the GDP. So it impact on welfare, positive, that is add to welfare, negative externalities, adverse impact on welfare. But as it is not added in the GDP, so it does not impact on welfare of the people. Again GDP fail. Another one side welfare is affected, rises and fall. But another side GDP is not affected, right? Next is here rate of population growth, right? If suppose population is rising by 20%, right? GDP is rising by 10%, right? And population growth is rising by 20%, right? If we ignore this, we don't have this data. We only have this data, GDP rises by 10%. So what is the conclusion? That welfare of the people is increasing because GDP is rising. But if we will go through the rate of population growth, right, which is double than the size of increase in the GDP, 20%. So our confusion will be over. In spite of welfare is increasing, in that situation, welfare will fall. Understood? For example, if suppose I have 10 chocolates to be distributed among 10 children, right? Next situation, if suppose I added 5 more, 15 chocolate, but at this moment I have to distribute 15 chocolate among the 20 students. So in the first situation, each child is getting 1 chocolate, 10 chocolate among 10 students. In the next situation, 15 chocolate, although chocolate increased, 15 chocolate, but is distributed among 20 students. So each children is not getting even 1 chocolate, right? So per person of availability of chocolate, in spite of rising, it has fallen. Although the number of chocolate with me increased from 10 to 15. But as the number of students among whom I am going to distribute increases at a faster rate as compared to number of chocolate with me. तो क्या होगा? Per person availability of chocolate, in spite of rising, it will fall. Same happen here. GDP increases by 10%, but population growth increases by 20%. So it will not add to welfare, it will reduce the welfare. Because in this situation, per person availability of goods and services in spite of rising, बढ़ने के बजाय क्या हो जाएगी वो? कम हो जाएगी, फॉल हो जाएगी. जब पर पर्सन अवेलेबिलिटी, वेलफेयर कहाँ से डिसाइड होता है? पैसे से नहीं होता है. वेलफेयर डिसाइड होता है कि हम कितना कंज्यूम कर रहे हैं गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज. अगर 1 लीटर दूध की जगह मैं 2 लीटर दूध शुरू कर दूं, इट मीन्स माई वेलफेयर इज इंक्रीजिंग बिकॉज द कंजप्शन ऑफ गुड्स हैज increased, right? So in this situation, although the GDP is increasing, but the welfare will fall because of per person availability of goods and services will fall. What is the reason? Population rises at a faster rate, 20%, as compared to the size of GDP, 10%. So these are the limitations, right? Or the reason because of which GDP cannot be considered alone as an index of welfare, right? And here one point, this is real and right, and these are the limitations, right? Limitation when we consider GDP as an index of welfare. Come to the examination, how the questions come. Rarely all points come in one question. One point is given, and this is the most repeated point which comes in examination, right? And any point may be given 1 point as 3 marker or 4 marker in examination, right? So this is the that topic which is important for 3 or 4 marker in your board examination. Now I am coming to last topic. This is GDP and deflator, right? GDP deflator, and sorry, this is GDP deflator, right? In 11th class, I think you have studied price index. This is the same price index, right, which measure the average level of prices of goods and services which make the GDP of a country. Average level of price of all goods and services which makes GDP. So all goods makes GDP, that is final goods, right? So GDP deflator. What it is? What it is? That measure the average level of price of goods and services which makes GDP. All the goods and services which makes GDP that is understood, it is final goods. So average level of price of all those goods, it may be possible for X commodity is increasing, for Y commodity is falling, for Z commodity no change, but it measures the average level of prices on an average for all goods and services here which makes GDP, right? How it is calculated? You know, GDP deflator is equal to nominal GDP upon real GDP into 100. Nominal GDP upon real GDP into 100, right? If nominal GDP is 120, assume, and real GDP is 100 into 100. So what is the GDP deflator? That is 120. And what does it mean? That 20%, 100 is to be deducted base year price index, which is always assumed as 100%. So 100 is to be deducted from this GDP deflator value. So what is the reflected by this value of GDP deflator? That 20% increase in the nominal GDP is caused because of increase in the price level, right? So it is 20%, right? So this is the GDP deflator, right? One concept is also given in your book, green GNP. Green GNP is what? You know, once we increases the GDP, it causes the depletion of resources. It causes the addition to pollution of the economy, right? So this is the cost, right? We have to pay to increase the size of GDP, right? So to find out the green GDP, we have to deduct what we are paying, right? Depletion of resources, resource depletion, and the environment degradation, which is caused because of this GDP. From the GDP, then we are getting the GDP deflator, right? Sorry, green GNP. That is known as green GNP. That shows the sustainability of development. These are the resource that if suppose less depletion of resources, less addition to pollution to environment, it means it may cause the sustainability of development for future, right? So this is also the small concept, although it is not a part of syllabus, but addition to knowledge, if you will get in your book, you should not be confused that what is green GDP, right? So chapter is ended, right? Again you know, tomorrow I will make you revise and you may share your doubts, right, which you will be facing in this chapter if you will go through the video thoroughly. All the videos I covered, each and every I tried to cover each and every topic, right? But you have to go through the video with focus and entire video, right? Then only you will be benefited. And if you understood any concept, don't go to the next video without giving like, comment, something, some motivation. Also I want, because I am a teacher definitely, but I am a human being also. So I need the motivation from you, your side, your children's side, that so that I can be more involved in this activity and I can do my best, right? Last, again, one small message for you. जिस जिस पर यह जग हंसा है उसी ने इतिहास रचा है। जिस जिस पर ये जग हंसा, लोग हंसे, उसी ने इतिहास हंसा है। यू कैन गो थ्रू वेरियस एग्जाम्पल ऑफ ग्रेट पर्सनालिटी। उनकी पहले क्या पहले क्या होता था, मजाक बनती थी, और वो ही उन्होंने ही क्या बना दिया, इतिहास बना दिया। अभी आप में से जैसे कुछ बच्चे मेरे पास आते हैं, जब पढ़ते हैं तो बाकी उसके जो नहीं पढ़ने वाले दोस्त हैं वो सब हंसते हैं, अरे बड़ा पढ़ाकू बन रहा है, ठीक है, वही टॉप करेगा ये तो, ठीक है, 100% लाएगा, CBSE टॉप करने वाला है। वो सब क्या करते हैं, मजाक उड़ाते हैं उनकी। उससे नहीं डरना है, अपना फोकस, अपना टारगेट डिसाइड रखो एंड मूव टूवर्ड्स इट, राइट, और तुम लोग ही फिर इतिहास रचोगे। मेरे पास ऐसे ऐसे एग्जाम्पल्स हैं बच्चों, जो कि 10th में बहुत ही बिलो एवरेज बच्चे थे, लेकिन ड्यू टू द मोटिवेशन, ड्यू टू द ग्रेस ऑफ गॉड, ड्यू टू द चेंज इन द एप्टीट्यूड बाय द चाइल्ड बिकम द 100% स्कोरर इन क्लास 12th। तो कभी भी अपने आप को अंडरस्टिमेट नहीं करना। What power God has given, you don't know, but we teacher know. That's why I used to motivate you at the end of my videos. Thank you.